How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market was all over the place today. We had the S&P go down 0.2%, the Dow went down 0.4%, the NASDAQ 100 broke even, and the Russell went down 0.7%. So today we're going to break down some charts, my thoughts on the market, stocks I'm looking at right now, and why this is the calm before the storm, and why the markets have not really done anything over the past couple of days. So sit back, relax, go down below, check out my Patreon if you guys want my real-time buys, sells, call outs, all of that's on Patreon, linked right down below, and let's get right into the video. So like I said, the markets really haven't done anything the past couple of days, and if you guys watch my video on Sunday, we kind of talked about this, and we kind of predicted this because this Thursday, well, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast, we are getting the inflation numbers. We're going to see the CPI numbers for May, and that is going to be a massive catalyst for the market, whether it's a catalyst to move the market higher or a lot lower. And I've mentioned this before. I don't want to continue saying this on the channel, but for the new viewers out there, these inflation numbers are going to be super important because let's say the inflation that we're going to see for May was, well, let's say these numbers are worse than expected. Well, the markets are likely to go down, at least in the short term. But let's say inflation wasn't as bad in May as we thought it was going to be. Well, the markets could go right through these all-time high resistances. In this case, SPY, the resistance is at about $423, $424. I believe we'll go right through that point, and I believe the ascending triangle will end up panning out here in the short term. And like I said, I mean, this market is waiting for this number. This is the calm before the storm. And likely tomorrow and Friday, it's going to be, very volatile, whether it's up to the upside or we end up selling off aggressively. We are going to pick a direction and expect that direction to be picked at 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. Literally, once that time hits, the algorithms, the trading algorithms out there, they're going to hit, and it's going to go up or down very aggressively. So that is what we're waiting for at this point in time. And for SPY, I've been saying this all the time for the past couple of videos. Look, we got to break 423.50 and go into the mid 420s, high 420s to really start breaking out and moving up further in this uptrend and for us to hit the all-time high. So that's why I have an alert at 423.50. And QQQ, this one actually did do pretty well today. At least it was earlier in the day, but we failed breaking out of 339, which was that high point from the middle of February. We actually struggled there yesterday as well. If you guys take a look on this 5-day, 5-minute chart, yesterday, we actually had pretty similar price action today as we did yesterday. Yesterday, the markets opened, we hit 339, and then we ended up selling off for the rest of the day, and that was pretty much what happened today as well. Markets open, we hit 339, and then we sold off, and we closed above $336 at the end of the day. So for QQQ to pick direction, it's going to either be under, let's say, 336. Let's say we break under 336 tomorrow. If that inflation number is worse than expected, that 336 level was resistance a couple days ago. So if that were to break, it failed. Let's say it failed holding as support. I'm thinking QQQ in the short term could see a bit of a sell-off to the lower 330s, maybe high 320s. That's very possible. But let's say we break 339. I'm thinking mid 340s, high 340s over the next couple of days in the short term. That is where we could be going, and that would likely happen. Not for sure. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think that would likely happen if the inflation numbers were not as bad as expected. And remember, the CPI number, guys, it's not literally everything out there. It's not going to tell us inflation for every single good out there. It's only a specific amount of goods that are really just a basket of goods out there that the average American uses. I'm not going to go over all the specific goods, but on Patreon tomorrow morning, I'll go over the report more in depth. So yeah, check that out again in the link if you guys want to join the Patreon. So let's talk about now some stocks. Now that we went over, the markets, what I'm looking for right now and what I'm looking at. And before we talk about some stocks, the VIX was up 5% today. We had gold down 0.2%, silver down 0.3%. So it was really a mixed bag. We had NASDAQ break even, S&P down, Russell down, but we had the NASDAQ, or the Dow rather, was down. So a lot of action today in the markets. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And we got some crazy news from GameStop today, ticker symbol GME. They actually appointed a brand new CFO and CEO, and these are both from Amazon. And you guys know Amazon. I mean, this is a company that is dominating the world in e-commerce, the world of e-commerce. Amazon is no doubt number one. So we have executives coming from there. Actually, I'm not too sure if they were executives. I'm pretty sure they must have been higher up in Amazon, but I'm not sure what exactly they were, what roles they had in Amazon. But overall, both the CEO and the CFO, the new guys now, they are both from Amazon. And obviously, GameStop, for this company to survive, for this company to, be here for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus more years, however long, right? They need to make a push into e-commerce. Nobody is going, some people still go into physical retail locations to buy video games, but most people these days, they are buying them online. They're buying them on the Xbox app, on the PS Network or the PS app, whatever the heck it's called. People are buying them straight from their homes, and I'm kind of interested to see how GameStop's going to compete with that, because I feel like buying games directly from Xbox, from the PS Network, that is the way to go. It's very simple, and I'm not sure how GameStop is going to fit into this. Are they going to cut a deal with somebody? I don't know. We'll see. But overall, for this company to survive, they need to push into e-commerce, and hopefully the new CEO, the new CFO, these two people, they end up doing this for GameStop, helping them in achieving their goal. Obviously, that is what they want to do, since they are the CEO and CFO, two of the most important positions in a company, right? And they did EPS of negative $1.01. So they lost $1.01 per share last quarter, and they did revenue of $1.3 billion, which is not too bad. I mean, if I look at their market cap, let me pull it up on my phone very quickly, guys. Bear with me. Yahoo Finance. Let's see. Market cap on GameStop right now is $21 billion. So, okay, if they're doing $1 billion in revenue, let's say they do $4 billion the year. If we do 1.2 times 4, let's say roughly $4 billion in revenue for a $21 billion market cap, that's not too bad. But now we have to see how much growth they do have the next couple of years, because let's say they do, let's say $4 billion with a $20 billion market cap. That's a price of sales of 5. Is that too expensive for GameStop? It very well could be. I think it is, considering they don't have much growth. But if they do get the growth kicking, that might not be the worst valuation for the company. We shall see. I'd love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. And overall, this stock is selling off right now. It closed above 300. Now it's hovering a little bit above $280 per share after market hours. And did this drop right before close rather? It did. Yeah, it was at 3:30 at about 3 p.m. right before power hour started, and then we ended up selling off from 3:30, closed at about 3:02, and we hit 260. Wow, we hit 260 after hours. So this actually, believe it or not, guys, hit a bear market status from 3:30, where it was at 3 p.m., to about 260 after market hours. That was a 20% drop, and now we're seeing it recover back above $280 per share after hours. So I think GameStop must be taken seriously above this 50 moving average. As of now on the 4-hour chart, that is where it's holding. And I'm thinking if it breaks 290, which is where I'm going to set my alert right now, if GameStop could break 290, this might end up going back to the mid 300s, maybe filling the gap back to where we were today, the intraday high at about 340, 350. Actually, that might have been yesterday. Yeah, that was the high from yesterday. So GameStop, just because it's down a little bit after hours, doesn't mean it's done for. In fact, I think this could very well be a dip buy. And again, we have to wait till 290 breaks, which was also the high point from back in the beginning of June, about a week ago. So yeah, watch out for GameStop above 290, maybe for a move back into the 300s. That is what I'm personally looking for and waiting for right now. And UPS was very interesting today. They had the investor day. I think that might have been yesterday. And this stock ended up going down a good amount, down about 4%. And now it's above $200, close above 200. And recently it was 220. So from where it was recently, it is down almost 10%. And what we're noticing here is the 180 SMA is holding on the 4-hour chart. And you can see some green candlesticks forming on top of that. That means buyers are stepping in and bidding the stock up above this 180 SMA, which is a good sign considering this level has held over the past couple of months. So that is good. And you may be asking yourself, why did UPS drop? Well, if you look on the live news tab right here, they're targeting 98 to about 100 billion in revenue for 2023, and I believe that came in lower than what was estimated. And we got some news that they're also looking to do same-day delivery service. That is what the CEO of UPS said at the investor day. So maybe this was a bit underwhelming and the stock ended up dropping, and that's what happens when you see a stock go up a ton. That means a lot of good news is priced in, and the second something comes in that maybe is underwhelming, the stock could drop, and that's completely normal. I mean, look at UPS's chart over the past, let's say, 3 years. This stock was $80 back in March of last year when the markets collapsed about 15 months ago. So it went from $80 all the way to 220, it pretty much 3x. So it dropping now is not too much of a big deal. It's really not, guys. It's really not. It's healthy for a stock to pull back. And looking at this 3-year chart, you could make the argument that UPS could come down a bit more, maybe to about 175, 180. You could make that argument right around the 50 moving average here. But pulling back on the 4-hour chart, like I said, we are seeing buyers step in here. So I'm gonna wait till the dust settles at this point. I'm gonna give it a couple of days. And if we do dump under the 180 moving average, sure, we might sell off. Like I said, on that 3-year chart, maybe down to about 185, 190. That's definitely possible. But don't be surprised if we consolidate a bit here at 200 and we end up filling the gap back up to 210, 215 over the next couple of weeks. This is very possible. And I'm also watching FedEx, which didn't really have an investor day, but it sold off because this is UPS's competitor. And if you see UPS's sales maybe a little bit lower for 2023, one could maybe say, hey, FedEx, maybe their sales are going to be lower as well. So FedEx sold down about 3%, not as much as UPS. In fact, we see some analysts here, they're still having an outperform rating on FedEx, and you can see it right here. One analyst at Raymond James said from 310 to 330 has a price target. This other one has a 330 price target as well. So FedEx, I like it here above the 180 SMA. Well, actually, at this point, It's trading below the 180 SMA, but if we're able to rebound above, let's say maybe 295, 297, that is where I think buyers could start stepping in and pushing this back above 300 into the 310 level. So I'm very interested in UPS and FedEx at this point. So I'm going to set an alert at 200 and let's say 97.50 for UPS here, or actually this is FedEx. Ticker symbol FDX. And the next stock here is AT&T, ticker symbol T. This one, ever since that big deal that happened a couple weeks ago, it crashed. It went from $34 to $28. It dropped about 14-15%, which is a pretty big drop for a company like AT&T. Mind you, AT&T isn't one of these high growth, speculative, more volatile stocks. It's kind of a slow and steady type of stock. So a 15-20% drop in the span of a day, couple weeks, that is a pretty big move. And ever since then, look, the bulls have not quite yet recovered. I mean, we're still moving under the moving averages. Rather, we're trading under the moving averages. But on top of that, we're also maintaining the uptrend. You can see a higher lows holding at $29. The previous was at about $28.50. Prior to that, it was $27.85. So the uptrend is holding here on the 4-hour chart, but we're trading under the moving averages. So I need to see AT&T take out this 50 SMA at about, let's say, $29.50. So I'm going to put an alert at $29.50. If that's able to break, maybe we start filling the gap up towards the 180 SMA at about $30, $30.50, $31, and that is where we could make a move of about 3-4-5%. So I like ticker symbol T here, and there could be even more upside, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I first want to see if we break back into $30. Then we can reanalyze and monitor the stock from there to see what ends up going down. And the last one for today is Planet 13, which is ticker symbol PLMHF. I always screw up this ticker symbol, guys, but this one we called out last week, and today we broke out. Finally, we broke out of the wedge. We're now trading above the moving averages, and this is exactly what I was looking for the next breakout, maybe up to about $8-9 per share, which is where we were back. When was this? Back in the middle towards the beginning of February. And I mentioned to you guys, hey, once the wedge breaks, watch out for a big move up. And that's kind of what we got today. In fact, we were well over above $7 earlier in the day, and we closed under $7. So there's a lot of momentum in Planet 13. And despite it dropping from $7.30 to $6.95 at close, it still went up 3% on the day, up 21 cents. So I feel like this is just getting started. I feel like we're catching this rally very soon, and there could be more upside. I'm thinking well above $7.50, maybe $8. So I'm thinking $8, more like $7.50 needs to break, probably $7.40, maybe $7.30. So I'm going to put an alert at $7.30. Let's put it there, which was the high point from today. If that's able to break, we'll see if we could end up moving higher from there. So overall, guys, those are some stocks. We talked about GameStop, UPS, FedEx, AT&T, and Planet 13, and kind of my thoughts on the market and what I'm waiting for tomorrow. So if you all enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe. That's greatly appreciated. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and feel free to join the Patreon. If you guys want my real-time buys, my sells, my call-outs, a morning update video every day, and if you guys want more access to me throughout the day, that is on Patreon, link down below. Or you guys can go to StockSurfFest.com/Patreon. That's StockSurfFest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 2 free stocks from Webull. Those are valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you get your 2 free stocks. That's linked down below. Same with the M1 Finance link. If you want $30, simply deposit $100 on M1 Finance, and you get 30 free bucks. We're talking a 30% return on your money right off the bat. So check those out. Everything's linked down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. video, which, oh, by the way, I made a video earlier talking about stocks that I'm looking to buy in the next stock market crash whenever that does end up happening. And we talk more about inflation in that video. We talk about the Shiller PE, and we talk about some valuation metrics. So go check that out. I'll pop it up here. I'll see you guys there. Keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there. As always, guys, peace out.